Alright, hello there. I basically want to do a video so that way I can show you a little bit of what I like to do during the summer. So this is essentially a, a professional marching band. And so I'm a music education major, and so this is like super nerdy, but I really love doing this stuff. I'll go and start playing this and then talk a little bit more about it too. But essentially, this is me right down here conducting the group. I started in the group playing a horn, and then I kind of worked myself up into this position. And so we basically meet periodically throughout the year, and then this is a 2 month long tour that we go from June up through August, the middle of August. And we travel through like Texas, up through the East Coast, into New York, and we end in Indianapolis. So this was our 2017 production. It was called Set Free, and it's a lot of fun. It's really loud, and it's visually aesthetic, and it's quite the journey. And so that's essentially what I do during the summer. And so what I'd like to do, this is my last year being possible that I am able to do it. So after this year, I'd like to go on as a teacher, essentially, an educator, and kind of help these guys be the best that they can be and share with them my knowledge that I've gained over the past 5 years. So then, after this, or after I get this going, start being a teacher with that, I would really like to do. This is basically body mapping. Another technique is called Alexander technique. They're both kind of a similar thing. So this is like a 6-hour course that I can basically understand better about how the physical approach to an instrument can help people prevent injuries. So this is perfect for the marching band stuff, but also just for, because I want to be a middle school teacher, I'm teaching kids pedagogy of all the instruments. So if I can teach them how to physically approach the instrument in a way that if they want to continue on up through like high school or college, they can do it in the best physical way so that it doesn't harm them down the road. Because there's actually a lot of different ways that you can do, since there's a lot of fine motor skills, there's a lot of different ways that you can approach the instrument in the wrong manner, and then you can get things like carpal tunnel, or those kinds of things where it's very detrimental to your body. So I like to basically learn about this so that I can better help my students in the future. Then I think it'd be really cool to, during the maybe one of the years that I'm teaching, probably year 4 or so, once I become a better teacher and things are more in place for me, is to go into the Colorado Institute of Instrument Technology. And this is essentially, this would be online, and so I wouldn't have to leave my job. And it's twice a week, 2 hours each class, and this is basically so I can get my instrument repair degree. So it's kind of like, well, what can you do with that? Well, this would be basically a side job for me, some side income to go around and either help out privately with students' instruments, or I can also go around to different school districts and fix their instruments, and I can get some side income. But it'll also help me with my own students and with their to keep them in my rehearsal essentially. There's especially middle school. There's a lot of students' instruments that when they break, you can be usually pretty easy to fix. But I don't know how to do that stuff right now. So this would really help me learn how to do those. And then if it is more intensive, then I can take it home and fix it and get them back into my rehearsal. So that way they're not skipping out, or not really skipping out, but missing out on the learning opportunities, and they can be back in my band program and learning as much as they can. So this is something that really intrigues me, and it's not too intensive, but it's something that would definitely benefit me and my students. And so this would probably be like year 5, maybe 6. I do the summer of Masters for Music Education, and I've had a lot of teacher friends that go through this, and we're very blessed here to have such a great music program and such awesome music faculty, and so I'd like to come back and learn more from them. And this is a perfect way to be able to do that. They also bring in some special people, so it's not exactly the same people that I've had in my undergrad. There's more people that come out to help with this, and it's during the summer, so I can still keep my teaching job during the year. And so this is like a 3 summer program that I'd come in, and then I learn a bunch of things. I'd come and utilize those during the school year, and then I come back the next summer, talk about what I learned, what worked in my classroom, and then get another project to use the next year, and then so on. And so from what I've heard from my music teacher friends I've done this, that this is a really, really awesome way to do it. And so yeah, this is something I'm really looking forward to. This would be like year 6 or so for me in my teaching career. Then this is something that basically alternates every other year. they have the WMEA, Washington Music Educators Association, and NAFME, which is National Association for Music Education. And so as every other year, they switch between doing hosting conferences essentially. This year, in this past February, we had a conference in Yakima for all of Washington, and so a bunch of music educators came out, and we had basically a 3-day intensive clinic series that talked about a bunch of different music topics and also education topics from K through 12 education. And so there's a lot of opportunities for professional development in each of these. And then NAFME, the Northwest Division Conference, this will be in Oregon next year. And this is essentially, it's like 5 or 6 states all around Washington that come out to this. And so it's the best educators from each of those states come out and give clinics. And you learn so much during this. And it is such an amazing experience. And you also just get to go and hang out with a bunch of different music educators, and so you get to connect, and you also get to learn with them throughout the weekend. So this is something that's always a lot of fun that I look forward to every year. And then eventually, maybe year 8, or I think for sure by year 10, it would be really nice to get my national board certification, because this is something that would really challenge me and also make me a better teacher, which would really help out making my students better learners. And so I think this is something that just, I don't know, it really intrigues me, and it makes me feel like I'd be a better educator, put me on the right path. And then essentially after I get this, I'd like to go back and help out more with this organization. I've done a lot here, 5 years here, and so I'd like to come back as maybe a music supervisor or music caption head or something, and so I can get more involved with this organization and help them out in any way that I can. And then beyond that, I haven't thought about it too much. I've thought about this stuff a lot more, but I think it would be really cool to maybe go back to college. Central's a good spot, but I don't know if I'd want to go back to Central. I know that UW and also Wazoo has a really good conducting master's program. And so conducting master's is essentially you can go and you basically get better at using a baton. And also you get live rehearsal in front of groups. And so you get to work with college age groups, and you get feedback on it every single day. And so you get your teaching skills really benefit along with your conducting skills. And so that's something that really interests me. I haven't thought about that one too much. I also think it'd be cool to maybe get your a doctorate's degree in either music education or even maybe baton technique, conducting. And so what I could do with that eventually would be to teach at higher education. So go to university and teach, be either maybe a director of bands or associate director of bands, something along those lines. And so that's something that I haven't thought about too much, but I'm focusing on these upcoming ones a little more. Um, so that's essentially what I'm looking forward to in my professional development and working on. Yeah, so thank you for helping me out this quarter and for teaching me, and I look forward to seeing you more in the future. Thanks.